Entry fragging in Rainbow Six Siege is one of the most fun and most popular roles to do in ranked, but I guarantee you, you're doing it wrong. So in today's video, I'm going to break down some of my gameplay entry fragging in competitive to show you just how to do it. Okay, so as you can see right now, we are on bank, and I'm actually the primary entry fragger in this game. You can see on the basement right now, I am playing Jaeger, and I do want to mention before we start that I actually get accused of cheating this game, and I do want to also mention that I don't normally play frag. I'm normally a hard support player, which means I'm just getting walls up and I'm droning in teammates, but we're kind of just switching around roles because we were doing a tryout, so I was like, hey, let me just try out entry, see if I do good, because I know how to play an entry fragger when it comes to how to position myself and the game sense of it. Because one thing that's pretty underrated about entry fragging is that it's not about the operators you play, and it's not about if you're aggressive or passive. It's really just about your play style. For example, I know most of my team is bunkering, but I also know that we have nothing for the hatches except for Cades, but all the Cades are going to the backside hatches. So I thought, like, I'm just gonna roam mid-floor, kind of put pressure on the square where the enemies are pushing and just waste as much time as possible. But I also knew the barricade up here was completely broken, and some people were already top square, meaning that somebody else was gonna come through this door thinking they were safe, and I was gonna be able to kill them. So once I heard the drop there, I swung a free kill, and that was the Maverick too, which is I think what they were gonna use for hatches. Yeah, no, they don't have anybody else that can get hatches except for Grim. But once I got the frag, I knew that I could just back off and maybe pressure a different angle, because that's what you really want to be doing as a roamer, is you want to be wasting time. Getting a kill on the roam like I did is nice, but it's not your really main objective. Your main objective as a roamer is to waste time so that the attackers don't have time to set up all this utility and set up and execute onto your teammates who are on the site, like my Mira, who's on Marble Stairs playing as a bridge player, or Pat, who's playing on Blue Stairs trying to just put pressure into kitchen or holding a shotgun close to the door so they can't push server. You get the idea. My entire job is just to be this constant thorn in their side that's just pre-firing random stuff, kind of just like annoying them, making sure that they know that I'm here and forcing them to clear me out and waste a bunch of time on me. That's your entire job as a roamer, is to waste time. It's not to get kills, it's to waste time. As you can see here, I'm not even like swinging. I'm really just kind of pre-firing, looking for stuff. I end up getting a pretty good shot right there because I had info. If you have info on somebody, by the way, always swing for a kill. That's a free kill most of the time because chances are they don't have info on you. But you get the idea. Now I'm just wasting time. I'm literally sitting still. I've gotten 2 kills now. They know where I am. Now I'm just going to waste time and wait for them to come clear me, and I'm going to waste as much time as possible. I do want to say I did get a call that somebody was above me. Or I had audio. Yeah, I had a 4 ping right there. Didn't know the lion was there, so I ended up dying. But I was able to get 2 picks and waste a minute 45 of the time. That's really, really good. Because now, look at the position they're in. This guy has hard reaching charges, and he killed our blue player. So it's a 3v2, but they only have a minute left. Now with the 2v2, and like, what are they gonna do? Open up a hatch and plant? We still have those on the board. We still have Mira Nitro, and they're like walking around completely split up. Like, they haven't even taken server yet. There's 50 seconds left. So I roamed and wasted a lot of time there very effectively. Again, kills weren't really a necessary part of it. It's cool that I got the kills, but the point of being a roamer is to just be this constant thorn in their side and to just like pre-fire stuff, shoot drones and leave, and just constantly like make them wonder where you're gonna come from and make them worry about a flank so they have to come clear you out. That's the whole point of a roaming. But now that I've shown you how to be a good roamer, let's go over a round that I was actually pretty bad at to show you some mistakes that I've made so you can learn from them. So again, we're on the basement. I think we ended up actually losing that round off of kind of a fluke play. So we're doing the exact same thing again. I think this time I'm going to roam a little bit more passive because I think part of the reason that the game last round got so close is because I was able to get 2 lucky kills. So they're going to be expecting me to swing a lot. So this round, I'm going to change it up and be super passive. I know that if they want to get the hatches open, they have to go into open area through this window. So I'm kind of just passively holding an angle here, just waiting for them to come into the window as much as I can. As you can see, I'm just sitting here. I shot a prep phase drone over here earlier that you didn't see. I also shot a drone here, and then I shoot another drone right here. And now that I've shot 3 drones in open area, you might think that I need to fall back, but this is kind of a power position because again, the hatches are right here. So I need to waste time here as much as possible. So now I'm just going to passively hold this. I'm not going to do anything. I think I quick peek here for information like once or twice, but I'm never really trying to take a gunfight. I hear this guy hop in, so I go for a swing. That guy took 30 bullets like he's 50 is what it is. Now we're up in man count. 2 lion skins are gone, and I've gotten 3 drones. There's no reason for me to do anything here, right? So I can just play passive and waste time. I've already wasted a minute. I need to waste at least 30 seconds more. The golden rule of thumb when you're roaming is to waste at least a minute 30 of the attacker's time. If you can waste a minute 30 and then fall back to site, even without getting any kills, you've done your job. You've done it. Now I'm getting Deimos tracked, so I'm calling out to my teammates like where the Deimos is. I'm 3-pinging right, but I know that they're probably just coming down square. I hear a guy above me. I see a drone to my left, so now I know they're going to come down marble. They're going to come down square, which means they're going to pinch me. And that probably means they're going to pinch my player Pat. So I have 2 choices. I can either fall off down a hatch, which is probably open, or I can help my player Pat by swinging square. I get a call that a Deimos is on my double door at bottom square. Then I swing, get a free kill. This guy starts pre-firing me, so I start trying to pre-fire him. That kind of looks like I'm wall hacking there. And then this guy gets a free kill too, right? So we're chilling. It is now a 4v1. But here's where I make a mistake. When you're up in man count, especially this much, especially when this guy has so much time to take 1v1s, and even at the man count, you have to play passive. I got a call from my IGL to go back to site here. That would have been the smart decision, but I got greedy. I wasn't going to be too aggressive, but I still wanted to kill. So I thought that if I held a really passive pixel angle that was super uncommon, that he wouldn't be able to find me or see me or kill me, and I'd still be able to get the free kill while not actually playing too aggressive. So right here, there's no reason for me to be holding angles at all. I could literally just be prone in a corner with my Johnson in my hand and be completely fine. But I'm choosing to peek. There's no reason to peek here. I get a call, I think, that he's archives or tellers at some point, so I end up turning to the right. Oh no, my teammate just dies. So now I know, okay, he's probably gonna push kitchen in a square, right? What I didn't account for was him having a drone on me. Or at least I think he had a drone on me, because he ends up just absolutely pre-firing me right here. Look at this. So I get gunned down. Now my teammates are all separated. They're not on site. He ends up rushing site. And I think we end up still winning this round, but I should have just fallen back to side. I got greedy, held a dumb angle, and I died for it. You don't want to do that. You don't want to get greedy. Even if you're in a 5v1 and it's for the ace, just fall back to site. Just play passive. It's always the best thing to do as a roamer, because again, your job is not to get kills. Your job is to waste time. I'm going to keep drilling this into your brain so you understand it. Your job is to waste time, not to get kills. Now this round, we're playing top floor, and you can't really roam on top floor. It's more of a bunker sort of site that you do. So how do you play as a fragger that's meant to sit on or near the objective? Well, this round I'm playing Azami, which is the perfect operator to do that with. So I'm going to show you how I play. First thing I do is set up a bunch of site. If you're a fragger, chances are you don't have much utility to place down. So all I'm doing is drone hunting and setting up a bunch of site. So I'm helping out my team. Then when the prep phase finally ends, I start doing my setup. I put an Azami on that corner of the table, and an Azami on this corner of the table as well. Essentially, these make it to where if they get on my stock windows, they can't really shoot me, but I can still prevent them from hopping in. It's a really aggressive strategy, but when you can't roam and you're forced to hold all this space, you kind of have to do that. At some point, I think I end up opening the stock hatch because you need that to be able to rotate out if people are in your hallway, which is why I actually brought impacts here. But again, just kind of helping my team, doing whatever I need to do. If you're forced on site as an entry fragger, literally all you can do is just help your team, right? Hunt down drones, maybe get on cameras. I had a teammate on camera, so I didn't get on cameras. But I see they have a DMR getting my Azamis. So I didn't replenish this Azami because he would have just DMR'd it. And I know he's on the roof based off the bullet trajectory, so I didn't peek it. I didn't re-Azami it. I'm just going to let it sit and save my Azamis for maybe something more important that couldn't just easily be destroyed. Then I get Deimos tracked, I get Lion scanned, and there's a buck below. So I'm like, I'm cooked. I cannot hold this position anymore. They have a DMR on my Azamis. This is just going to get me killed if I stay here, right? So a big part about roaming, even if you're on site or off site, is knowing when to back up. Like I said, if you want to be able to roam, especially like a good roamer, is more passive than anything. All you do as a roamer, somebody drones you out, you shoot the drone, and you leave. What that does is it makes it to where when they call you out on that drone, they're going to say, hey, this guy's in room A, when in reality, after shooting the drone, you're in room B. So the information is inaccurate, and then they have to also use another drone to drone out where you are once they find out you're not there, which wastes even more time, right? Again, if your goal is to waste time, all you have to do when you roam, shoot a drone, leave, shoot a drone, leave, shoot a drone, leave, and just waste time as much as possible. Go for a kill when you can. But in this instance, I just have to leave, right? There's nothing really I can do. I have reinforcements here that I can sit behind, but they get my second Azami. They're bucking below, they're Deimosing below. So I think, okay, I'll just hold something else, right? If they're doing this heavy of a square push, I can hold square from a different angle. I can do that. They're gonna take stock. That's fine. I'll let them. I have a person, Plumber Pat, one of my viewers, absolute amazing player at the game. I know he can come up marble and pressure that stock hallway if I need to. So I'm not even gonna do it. I can still hold stock by putting deagle angles here, which I end up doing, which I think actually net me a kill. But again, you can still back up and do what you need to do. Just because you're a fragger doesn't mean you have to be aggressive, right? No one to be passive. We're up in man count again. All I have to do is be passive. All I have to do is be passive here. There's no reason for me to swing anything. We have info on where everybody is. It's more of a game sense thing that I know someone's probably going to hop into stock like mid to late round. Players just tend to do that for a pinch, right? Because like if you want to be able to plant the bomb, you have to get this wall open. You have to take control of janitor, and you have to take control of this hallway. So nobody can like swing or nitro your planter, right? To do that, you have to take stock. So I know someone's probably just going to come to stock at some point. I'm worried about the windows behind me, so I Azami those off. I think it's my final Azami as well. But I'm just waiting for someone to hop in the windows, right? Just waiting. I get a free kill there. But I saw that if I get a free kill there, they're going to know I'm here. They're going to call it out that I'm here. So it's better that I probably leave this position, which I end up doing. Making sure that the walls aren't open on E3. And now I'm retaking a position, right? So one thing that you should be doing as a fragger is holding power positions. There's certain positions on maps that are much more powerful to hold than others, right? So this shield, for example, is super, super powerful to hold. If you can hold the shield, you can prevent them from going in the site door or being in this hallway at all which sucks for them, right? So I knew that my had to back off, but now that there's only one dude left and we know where he is, I might as well retake that power position just to make it even harder for him to be able to do what he needs to do, right? So I think he ends up going to my stock and I just swing him. I whiff so bad here. I whiff so bad here. I whiff so bad here. So my teammate ends up gonna get the kill. But you get the idea. If I wasn't in that power position, he would have been able to walk in and he probably would have fried me because his teammate called out that I was on the CEO head holes. These are common in comp, right? So I would have gotten probably killed. Then it would have been a 3v1, which in the first round, we've lost. You know what I mean? So, like, even if you're a 4v1, again, it's important that you play correctly. But now that we've won 2 defensive rounds, it's time to go to our worst and hardest site yet, which is the mid-floor bomb site. Definitely a pretty hard site to control if you can't maintain vertical pressure. But again, I'm a fragger. I don't really have much utility to set up, and I plan on doing that Azami stock hold again, because we need to hold vert. So I'm just setting up site, right? If you're a fragger, not much to do, just help set up site. Your poor support players, look at this. They have site holes to make. This guy has a BP and 3 ADSs to put down. This guy has a BP and 4 mines to put down. The least I can do is put feet holes down and reinforce, right? Like, that is the least I can do to help my teammates out. So that's what we end up doing, right? We're reinforcing, we're setting down sight. I'm putting in a zombie here. I know people love to get on this wall, because if you get on this wall as an attacker, you get a long angle onto the site door, and you can see anybody in the back of the site, right? So reinforcing this wall is super important. People will, like, buck this open and have an OSA shield just sitting here all around and just hold this crazy cutoff. It's really, really good. So I reinforce that because I've died to that so many times. And then I end up calling out to my team that I want to put in a zombie barricade on these metal detectors. If you put one in the middle of this metal detector right here, it'll expand so far out that nobody can walk by the zombie barricade, so they have to break it, which gives you information, right? So I'm like, what I'm gonna do, because I don't want to force y'all to not be able to rotate through here, is I'm gonna put that down late. So I'm gonna place stock up here, and then when I get forced out down to marble stairs, I'll put this down later once y'all have already come back to site, essentially blocking them out but not blocking y'all out, right? So that was kind of the strategy going into this round. But again, I'm doing the stock hold. I'm gonna end up probably opening the hatch next to me, because if you're playing a power position like this, chances are you're gonna get flushed out, and I don't need to hold stock to win this round, right? Like, the vert you get as an attacker from playing stock is only a little bit of a room. You don't get the whole hallway, so it's not too important for me to play here again. I just want to waste time, which is why I'm not going to end up actually reinforcing that hatch. I reinforce this one instead, because this actually leads to all of the rotates to site. Much more important hatch to reinforce than the stock one. So I end up opening this to get back to site at some point, I think, to help out my Jaeger. And I'm just holding this room, right? I'm just holding this room. I guess I could be on cams here. Oh no, I'm talking to my teammate. He wants me to open the hatch. That's what this is. So I open the hatch for him. He goes back to site. I think I'm calling like, hey, you should go back to site. And he's like, no, I'm gonna rat under the window, right? But the barricade gets broken the second he decides to do that. So I think he just ends up dying early here on accident. I see there's a guy there, and there's 2 things you can do as an entry fragger here, right? You can either challenge this kid, which with my 1x scope probably would not have ended well, and I have a guy pinching me on a window, or I could leave, and I decided to leave. They were grenading me, they were lion scanning me, they had 2 people on me. In my mind, I'm like, oh, they're rushing, they're full roam clearing me, I'm just gonna leave. In most scenarios, you don't want to give up space that fast, again, because your job is to waste time. But look at this. This is all of the floor that they get if they get that room, right? You still have all of the kitchen bomb site, half of the open area bomb site. You have anybody in this room if they don't open the window, and the closet, and tellers and archives, because my teammates were extending into there. So it's okay to give this up in this really specific example. Most time it's not, but this time it's okay. That is on me. I put down to cover me from the hallway if I want to look at like the hatch, for example. So like I put the zombie down so I can watch this hatch without worrying about the hallway. That's what this is. So now I can still aggressively hold the hatch, essentially making it to where even because I gave up that room, it's fine because I'm still aggressively holding the space, right? And that's really one of your main objectives is playing as an entry, is trying to aggressively hold space. Not to the point where you're taking unnecessary gunfights, but to the point where, again, you're wasting utility and you're wasting time. Me being on this hatch made them a lot more scared to drop down it, which wasted time and wasted utility. That has to be your objective every single time you're playing frag, is how can I waste time without being too aggressive, and how can I just like be a nuisance in their side? They end up getting vert on me because I think they know that I'm there with some sort of drone. So I literally just fall back and I'm holding the exact same angle. They get the Azami, that's fine. I get a call out that the bulletproof got Dokkaebi hacked, so I end up just shooting that camera. But because the ace opened that wall, I'm kind of pressured. Like, I don't know if the ace is in tellers, if he's like on the wall, if he's top square. I don't know if there's like 2 or 3 people here, right? So I'm like proning in a corner trying to play passive, but then I realize it's a 4v5. Here's where you get to have fun as a roamer, or as a fragger in general. If you're ever down in man count, you have to get aggressive. Why do you have to get aggressive, you say? You have to get aggressive because if there are, I mean, right now, look, there's only 2 people on site, right? We have 2 roamers. If they're a good team, they know that. So if it's a 5v2 on site, they're going to get one guy here, one guy here, one guy here, one guy here, one guy in the hatch, and they're going to go 3, 2, 1, flood. And then they're all going to just push us at the same time. We can't shoot 5 people as 2 people. We might be able to get a kill here and there, but we're not going to win overall. They're going to get sight. My teammates are going to have to play retake. It's just a mess, right? You want to always have an even man count, or preferably a higher man count than your enemies. If you don't, they're going to get aggressive and flood you because they realize they have the advantage. So where you get to have fun as a roamer is when you're down in man count, because you need to even that man count back out, which means you need to swing and go for some kills. So this is why I swing this. I hear one above me, but I know no one's top square because I hear him run away, and Pat was telling me that top square is clear. So I'm thinking, okay, I also got to call out that Tellers is clear. I'm going to retake Tellers archives. Having an extension here is super important because you make it to where they can't play bottom square and they can't play in the marble hallway, right? Because you have rotates everywhere. So I'm like, fuck it. I'm just going to retake archives, right? Maybe retake Tellers too. I get lion scan, so I sit still, obviously. Hanging up a Dokkaebi call so they don't hear me when I flank. And now I'm being aggressive. I thought people would be here, which is why I'm like not sprinting, because I'm like, surely there's a guy in archives, right? See a guy in the hatch. That's an unwinnable gunfight. But now my teammate said, I really need to get aggressive here. And then this Deimos is just better than me. Like, that Deimos was just better than me. I thought, from my perspective, he was outside the wall, didn't know he was close, and I was tracked, so I just got shot on, right? I think my mistake there is I wasn't aggressive enough. I probably should have been, like, sprinting towards the rotate and trying to kill this Deimos before he even knew I was there. But because I had a cutoff drone here, and I think somewhere in lobby as well, I just got gunned down. So you need to learn to be aggressive when you're down in man count as a roamer, or else stuff like this is going to happen. So you need to learn when to manage your aggression in general. Do you get aggressive or passive in the right scenario? You should be passive when you're up in man count and when you're even in man count, and you should be aggressive when you're down in man count. Goes for attack too. Pretty much the same principle there. Let's move on to round 5. This is when I start to realize that they're bringing Deimos every round, and we need a roamer who can counter Deimos. Vigil is the best play for that. I also know that every time that we went basement so far, they have not countered our Mira because they haven't been pushing where we've been setting our Miras up. They haven't even been pushing where we're setting our smoke up or our Goyo up. So I knew that we didn't really need a Mira. So I'm like, fuck it, I'll go Vigil. If they want to play the Deimos game and they're not even worried about our Miras, they're not even pushing there, there's no reason to run Mira. I might as well try to counter what they're doing instead of trying the same thing over and over again, right? So that's my next lesson. Adaptability. If you know they're not pushing this big concocted setup that you have, it could be a pro league setup, it doesn't matter. If they're not pushing it, you've got to do something else, right? We did lose a basement round. The first round of this video was a basement round. We lost it, right? So if I can do something to maybe change the playstyle a bit, then I'll do that. They didn't push CC again, like I said earlier. They didn't push our mirrors, they didn't push smoke, they didn't push our Goyo, which means they probably pushed lobby side and elevator side, and then they just rotated whenever they needed to. So I'm thinking I'm going to play Vigil, and I'm going to waste time lobby, right? I know these kids are probably going to do a lobby take. Right now, I'm just drone hunting because I think I didn't see any drones lobby, so I'm like, oh, it might be square take. Didn't see any drone square. Now I'm just making myself rotates for the roam. That's a good rotate to have. A lot of people will get in the site windows and try to clear you out here, so having a rotate there allows you to not be pressured. But I'm thinking surely they have some sort of lobby push here, right? That's just game sense because that's where they pushed last time. I know they might have drones too, so I'm just preemptively activating my ability. I heard them, I think, get on a drone. And then I call out to my teammate who's also with me. I think he's with me. Let me look. Where's our Goyo? Yeah, B2. B2's our Goyo. And he's like, I'm holding lobby with you. I'm holding lobby with you. So I call out, okay, watch the double door. I'm going to watch the single door, right? Making it to where they can't push anywhere without us knowing about it. So now we have this huge cross angle. He calls out, there's a shield right there. I don't hear anybody on the right. So I think I end up just swinging the left when the Ying pushes up. And I get a kill on the Ying. So again, I get a kill. We're up in man count. What did I say earlier? If you're up in man count, play passive. Your whole job is to waste time. If they ever have information on you, you need to leave. That's another thing I said earlier. So we're up in man count. And they have information on me because I just killed a dude. So I leave. That's what you have to do. I'm standing still for a lion scan. I realize I'm Vigil, so I don't have to do that and start moving around, right? I'm also getting call outs that these guys are like pushing marble. They're pushing lone. They're pushing lobby. So I realize these guys are clearing me out. They're literally just trying to do their take, even though one of their guys died to me in lobby. So I'm like, they don't even care that I'm a roamer. I'm just going to keep being annoying then. I'm going to keep shooting them. They don't want to clear me out. Okay. I'm not seen as a problem right now. As a roamer, your whole job is to be seen as a problem. Again, you want to be a thorn in their side. You want to waste as much time as possible. So I'm like, okay, if they're not going to come clear me, I'm going to make them want to clear me. So I get a call out hey, there's this ace in lone. The ace leaves, but I find the lion in lone instead, right? So I'm like, fuck it, I'm on his ass. I get a kill. Now I'm like, okay, you don't think I'm a problem? Now you have to come clear me. So I'm sitting passive, third floor, thinking surely in a 2v5, they're gonna take a 2v1 upstairs and try to clear the roamer. That's what I would do. Right, a 2v1 is easier than a 2v5. They don't even come near me. I sit upstairs the entire time, holding lobby. They don't even touch me. And then I hear that they're on my teammates. So I'm just like, I'll just sit here then. I'll just sit here, right? There's no, like, if this guy knows that I'm roaming, he can't hit sight. I'm just gonna flank him. So he should be roam clearing me. So I'm like, even if we're up at man count, I'm still just gonna kind of rat. I'm not gonna like do anything crazy. I'm just gonna rat. Then I get a call out, he's on marble stairs. And that's when I get this kill, right? So that's a great example of like, you don't want to be too passive. If they're not roam clearing you, like let's say you get droned in a game and maybe you even get a kill. If they don't immediately turn around and make you their priority, you need to make it their priority. If you're not the issue in their side, you need to be the issue in their side. Like I said, you have to be a thorn in their side at all times. And if you are making noise, you're pre-firing, you're shooting drones, hell, even if you get a kill like I did, sometimes they'll be like, fuck it, we'll just put flank watch down and not even worry about this guy. So you have to make them worry about you by re-engaging like I did there. So that's another great lesson for roaming. Let's go into round 6. This is another defensive round, and let's just round it out. Let's round it out. Normally, I think we end up 4-2 because we end up winning this round, but one of their guys ended up leaving, so we didn't actually get like the full game in this custom game, but I'll load up the next custom game when we continued. Anyways, again, I'm on the Azami. I figured they're going to do a lobby push because that's all they've been doing, so I'm looking towards lobby, right? I think Pat ends up running out on a guy on the windows off of the garage cam because for some reason, even in the map before this, these guys do not shoot default cam, so we knew there was a guy there. He gets refragged. Then I think my guy dies from this lobby rappel. So again, 3v4, you're down in man count. What do? You get aggressive, right? I shoot a drone, I leave. But I'm like, I need to kill this kid on the window. He's making noise. I can't kill him from the lobby windows because there's people there. So I just need to swing it, right? Get a kill. That's the thing. Now we're even in man count. Now I'm going to chill out. I'm just going to hold passive angles. I'm going to act out the information. I'm not going to do anything too crazy. I hear this guy's acing the wall, so I tell my team I'm going to impact trick it. I know he's off the rappel too. I got to call out for that. A big mistake here. I should have Azami'd these aces off so the hole was like replugged up. I did it later, but I should have done that immediately. Instead, I get cover off the window so I can sit and trump for longer. I use that cover so the head holes can't kill me, and now I'm just solidified in trump. I have barricades and Azamis all around me. They can't do anything about me, right? A Rooney gate's near me too, like this is good. I think this is when I Azami the breaches. Yeah. Really important to have those angles covered up because you can't rotate in the hallway if there's a guy on rappel there. He's shooting to my barricades, so I'm like, oh, he's on E3. And then I get a call out, there's a guy on my staircase. And I have a live ping. So like, I need to be challenging this because if you have a live ping on somebody, bro, it doesn't matter if you're up or down at man count. If you have information, always take the gunfight. Because information is such a huge like advantage in this game. Whether it be cameras, drones, callouts, whatever it may be. If you have info and they don't know where you are, swing it. That's what I did here. Bad aim. But that's what I did here. Hop back in. I know one guy's in rappel. I got to call it that the last guy was in lone. I also see him flashing me, so I know he's in lone. So I know both players are on this side of the objective. All I have to do is hold passive angles. I'm hoping to catch the guy on rappel in this window. He's nowhere even near it. I'm thinking maybe I'll hop out this window. Probably too aggressive because of the guy on the other lobby windows. I'm getting a call for this guy on the spiral again. That was me over swinging. Like I said, sometimes I get greedy. That's who I am as a player. Sorry. I shouldn't have swung this door because of the guy in the rappel. I knew he's on rappel, but I'm like, fuck it, I want the kill. Don't do that. Do as I say, not as I do. You do not want to do that. If you're up in man count, don't do it. Don't do that. I don't care how hot you are right now. Don't do it. Luckily, B2 gets a kill. My teammates are goats, and we end up winning the round 4-2. And then that's it. But that's enough about defense. If you came to this video, you want to see probably how an entry fragger would attack. So I'm going to show you. First of all, for a little bit of added context, we remade this game with the 4-2 split, but my dumbass teammate B2 made it to where we had 2 points and they had 4 points instead of the opposite. But we were too lazy to reverse it, and we knew we were going to beat them anyways, so we just said, okay, we'll let them have their 3 rounds. We didn't end up winning, but we thought, we were confident, let's let them 3 rounds. It's a scrimmage anyways. It's not a real like tournament game, so it doesn't really matter. We're all just here for practice, right? I'm assuming because we banned Castle, which is a really strong ban, by the way, that they're going to play Azami. So I end up going Flores. I switched to Nook because I want to do a garage take. But then I think I end up going Monty this round, actually. Because we might want to... I need to get hatches open with hard breaching charges. And I also am a really, really good shield player on attack. Normally, you have your support players playing shields. but I'm a special case. I'm playing entry this game, but I'm also the best shield player on the team, and I love playing shields. I'm like the designated shield team player, so I just end up playing Monty, and a more aggressive Monty. Cool thing about shields is if you have teammates behind you, you can play as aggressive as you want, because if the person tries to kill you as a shield, they're just going to get shot by your teammate, right? So you can use Monty, or any shield for that matter, as kind of a human drone, right? Instead of wasting all this time droning individual rooms, I could just walk wherever I want, and knowing how these guys played in the past, on Clubhouse, the game before this that I haven't shown you, they don't really deep roam. They don't really rat in corners. They don't really roam in the third floor. So I'm like, I'm not even going to bother clearing all these third floor rooms. I'm just going to walk down Marble because I know there's a Warden in an open area, right? So Warden comes in through here. He sees me. He gets scared, pisses down his leg a little bit, and then falls back down to Marble. So I'm like, I think we have open. Let's just take open. Just to be safe, I recheck Marble stairs, though, just to make sure he's not there. And he's not there. And I think I get the elevator hatch here. Not really like an entry fragger to be getting hatches, but to a certain extent, like, what else am I gonna do? Hold an angle on Marble stairs? There's a guy with a shotgun on blue stairs. I can't do that. Like, at a certain point, as an entry frag, you have to use utility. If you look at any single, like, pro league team, they'll have a team of, like, 5 utility-heavy operators. Because at the end of the day, and one thing I really want you to take from this video, if you ever took anything from this video, entry frag is not about the operator you play. It is about your playstyle. You could be an entry fragger on Thermite, and you could be a support on Ash. It is literally all about your playstyle. I don't recommend you be a support on Ash, but you get the idea. You can play as a support on Monty, just fully extending your shield all around and playing with your team and just giving callouts using utility and being very, very passive. Or you could be an entry fragger on Monty, having you, your second entry, or your supports behind you, either droning in what you're not looking at or just trying to refrag you when you walk in, right? So you can still play a utility-heavy operator like Monty and still be an entry frag. I think right now I'm calling for my teammate to EMP my hatch. Then I realize we're not doing a vault take based off of what my IGL said, so I go to the open hatches. This hatch is much more important than the other one because you can cover your planter from it, so I'm like, hey, we need to EMP this hatch. He EMPs the hatch. We get it going. I get the hatch open. I'm thinking, like, maybe this guy's K-tricking. Was he K-tricking? No, he was K-tricking the vault hatch. Oh, okay. I always K-trick that hatch because you can get on top of a table and trick it pretty easy. But then I'm like, okay, a big issue with attacking this bomb site is people will play smoke on or Warden in the staircase. I think in this case, it was the smoke player. We had a smoke player too playing the staircase, and we gave him 2 ADSs. I think they literally just copied our strat. They put 2 ADSs in the smoke player here. Me knowing this is probably the case, I'm like, hey, I need Plumber Pat or B2, just anybody with soft destruction to come help me get this shield, and then I'm gonna push this guy, and you're gonna swing off me, okay? I tell him, break this barbed wire, I'm a shield, I'll cover you. The reason I want him to break that barbed wire is not because of the barbed wire being in the way. I could have walked around it, which I did, right? The reason I break that barbed wire is because I know this smoke is probably going to swing off of that barbed wire being broken, right? Because it's information. Naturally, smoke player, especially with a shotgun, that close range is going to swing. So I'm trying to bait him out just to get info on if he's still playing there or not. He was. I end up actually making him waste a smoke grenade. And then I'm like, if he smokes that off, usually smoke players, if they smoke something off, they run away from it because it's just a waste of time. So I'm like, maybe he's going to run to site. He does run to site. I call that out. And so I'm like, okay, I don't see anybody in server. So I'm just like, I'm just going to walk stairs. So eventually I walk down the stairs, right? And when it comes to attacking entry fragging, your biggest goal isn't to waste time. Your biggest goal is to take space. So any single opportunity that I saw to take space and take it as quickly and oppressively as possible, I did, right? When it came to stock, I vaulted in that bitch with a teammate behind me. When it came to marble stairs, I knew they weren't going to rat top floor because they hadn't been doing it for the past 2 games. So I walked down marble. The second I knew that the warden player left open area, I immediately got the elevator hatch open and took open area. The second that I knew that we had the hatch open, I immediately start working blue stairs, right? You always have to be trying to work something, take space somewhere, and just be oppressive. Always be, again, a thorn in their side. That is your entire job as an entry fragger on attack or as a roamer on defense. Always be working something. Always be a thorn on their side, distracting them, making them fall back or push you if you're on defense, right? So I work server, I realize no one's server after I like fully check the corner. And then I'm like, okay, there's Goyo fire going off. They still have a smoke. This is going to be hard. We only have 40 seconds. I think we end up actually losing this round because they had just so much utility. In this scenario, I probably should have dropped Vault because they had Goyos and smokes facing us. That's a mistake on the IGL's part, I think, though, because he called for this take. But I'm like, let me just try to drone, or not drone, plant. And then I realized that the Goyo fire doesn't actually connect with the plant spot, so I try to stick a plant. I'm baiting up the nitro because I know Warden has a nitro. Warden's 1 HP on the rotate. I should have just stuck plant here. I think the Warden actually uses nitro earlier. So I should have just stuck plant. That's a mistake on my part. Then I get smoked out with only 20 seconds left. Me and my teammates are separated. I can't help my Ash. I'm Goyoed and smoked off. It's a 3v5. I just can't do anything. Now it's a 1v5. I get 1 kill, and then there's literally just nothing I can do, right? Like, that guy just absolutely shits on me. So, biggest mistake I think I made there was not finding a gap. I kind of just played exactly into their strat. And that's a really big thing you need to be able to do as an entry fragger, is identifying gaps. If you know that, like, all of this utility is set up one side, but then, like, they have nothing a different side, then take the side where they don't have any utility, right? Like, so for example, they're playing Mira Azami. In my head, that means they're gonna have an Azami player stock. They have Frost, so they're probably gonna have a shield, which means they're gonna have a shield right here, like I did. And then they have a Mira, so they're gonna have a Mira and Janitor. That's a square hold. They have 3 different operators and pieces of utility holding square. So I'm thinking, let's do a lobby take. They have nothing set up for lobby except for like a single Banshee. All their players are on this side of the map, right? So a big part about being an entry fragger is identifying gaps in the defense and taking it. Again, you want to take space as maliciously and as fast as you possibly can. I have a lobby drone because I think I end up pushing lobby here. This is a great drone spot, by the way. If you hop it on the chandelier over here, it's even better. But you get the idea. Prep phase ends in 10 seconds, so let's go ahead and skip ahead to what I'm doing. I think I end up playing Osa because my teammates are going to push here, and then I'm going to be on the site window just kind of like, you know, again, being a thorn in their side, right? So let's skip ahead. Let's see what happens. I get on rappel. Now I'm just breaking windows, right? This is called ghost pressure. You can do this even if you're not an entry fragger, if you're a support or a flex, whatever it may be. Just start opening stuff, putting utility down. That's going to scare people and make you think that you're there, even if you're not, but just opening up angles. I hear the impact grenade, get my Osa shield there, so I know I have to re-Osa it at some point. But if he has a second impact grenade, he's going to use it on the other Osa as well, right? But these impact grenades make it to where he can't impact trick the shield for the Floreses, and he can't impact the aces like I did earlier, right? So honestly, it kind of works out. I put another Osa down. Again, this is just for ghost pressure, right? I put it down. I think I end up breaking the Azami right here, which you can't unfortunately see in the kill cam, but this isn't Azami that I'm shooting. Not just thin air, I promise. And then I end up breaking the barricade for more ghost pressure. I'm just trying to make this Azami feel like really unsafe. And then I'm like, okay, both my shields are gone. My IGL's like, okay, let's just push stock, excuse me. Because I realized the Azami is not holding stock. He's holding in Trump, which is something I called out, right? Which we wouldn't have known had I not called it out. Right? So again, another important thing as an entry fragger is communication. Even though you're getting kills, you still have to communicate, even if you're not droning people in, right? Me saying, hey, there's an Azami, she's playing in Trump with all of her Azami, she just wasted both of her impacts on me. I know that my teammates are going to think, oh, she's not holding stock, let's do a stock push. Because I just communicated that, now our entire push is changing, and it's changing for the better because we're acting off of accurate information. Plus, I broke all of her Azamis in Trump, or at least one of them. I broke 4 barricades. I put claymores down. I made a bunch of noise. So they think I'm outside the windows. So we can just take this. And I'm like, hey, I think stock is clear, right? I end up droning it. And my IGL, I'm telling my IGL, like, can I just hop in stock? Is it clear to hop in stock? And he's like, no, do not hop in stock. And then I tell him, I think it's clear. I want to hop in anyways. Again, I'm identifying a gap. He thought it wasn't clear because last time he checked, there was a guy in the hallway. But I droned it. No one's in stock, no one's in the hallway. So I'm like, here's a gap. I'm going to take it. That's what you got to be doing as entry. You have to take space as fast and as maliciously as possible. If you see a gap, take it. That's what you have to do. I found a gap. I took it. I got to call out one janitor. Shot them loose from my teammate. I don't know where last guy is, so I'm kind of just checking angles. We win the round, right? Just taking space, communication. That's what won us that game. And this round, I'm pretty sure, is where the cheating allegations start to come. Not because of anything I did that round, but I think collectively what actually happened was the player that left was actually somebody who was leaving to watch it in match replay. So they ended the match with a player leaving so that they had an excuse to watch me in the player recap. And then they were looking at ranked stats and they're like questioning our ranked stats. So I think that's what happened. Quick backstory for you too. The main reason they thought that I was cheating and that my teammates were cheating wasn't even because of my gameplay. It's because we weren't champion. They saw that we were past champions, but this season I was like Diamond 3. I think I'm Diamond 3 right now, and I have a teammate who on this account is Emerald 1, and they're like, why aren't you guys champ? You've been champ the past few seasons, right? And we're like, we just don't play ranked, we don't enjoy it. If you don't know, on PC, ranked is like unplayable at a high level. There's cheaters every single game, right? So we're just like, we're not playing it. And he's like, you're not playing ranked for 100 games? It's like, yeah, 100 games is not a lot, right? Like Stompin', when he got champ on console, had like 1,200 games. Like 100 games is not a lot. So then they're like, how do you guys have such good stats but you're not in champion? You guys must be cheating. You must have bought the account. That was their logic. No gameplay issues. No actual like logic behind it. They thought they were cheating. They thought that we were cheating, excuse me, because our stats were too good for our rank. I have a 1.1 KD in Diamond. What do you mean my stats are too good? Anyways, really weird team. But now my team sees at their top floor So what my IGL called here is we're gonna do a bottom up. So just like how when you're playing against like a basement site, you'll do a top down, which means you'll just get vert, you'll clear out all of the roamers, you'll just go from the top of the map all the way down and then execute. You can also do a bottom up. So my IGL called a bottom up. We want to start bucking below. We're going to start playing Deimos below. We're going to scan so our Deimos can actually kill people. And then we're just working vert, right? So I start droning this out because I need to be in open area to buck below, obviously. People like to rat in these desks. And because they're accusing me of cheating, I'm assuming that they're going to try to rat in a corner to see if I end up knowing where they are. Because when I try to see if someone's wall hacking, I play like really uncommon angles to see if they still pre-fire me. So I'm like, they're totally going to do the same thing. Let me see if they're ratting. They weren't. But I also know that I have to make vert under janitor and under archive, so I need to make a rotate in between the two is the first thing I do. I start bucking below to see if I can get like any bandits or cades off the wall. Nothing was on that wall, so I moved to the next one. Now I'm bucking below. Our goal here really was never to get the wall though. Our goal here was to just make our presence known. If we can start playing below a bunch, getting free picks like Pat did here on the janitor hatch, that's gonna make people, especially in a 3v5 environment, start to trickle downstairs, which leaves the side open, right? Not only does it leave the side open, but if we have our flex player, like let's say B2, who's in square, he can kill anybody who's trying to come down square to kill us, right? So it's more of a bait sort of strategy that we're doing here. But I know there's a mirror that they had in janitor last time they played top floor, so I'm bucking below to try to get the mirror off the wall. I end up getting the mirror off the wall. But now this is all the vert that I need for sight. You really don't need any much else, especially if you're going to end up top square like we did. So even though I died to the vert here to a guy I didn't know was there, my mission was still complete, right? That's one hard truth you have to face as an entry is you're going to die the most out of anybody on your team. You should have some of the most amount of kills because you're engaging the most, but you're going to die a lot. That's okay. But when you do die, you should be on a drone. As you can see, we have drones like pretty much everywhere we push. Normally we have a lobby drone, we have a bottom marble drone, we'll have a square drone. I put this square drone here in the prep phase so I can watch my teammates flank because I knew we were going to end square at something that our IGL called out in the prep phase. So I'm just on the square drone, just like literally watching this guy's flank. That's all I'm doing, right? I'm watching B2's flank. We end up getting a free kill. It's a 4v2. We end up winning. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, we won this round. Nothing else really happened. I think we ended up losing the last 2 rounds. But if the score wasn't flipped, we would have actually won the game. So it didn't really matter anyways. Regardless, though, I just wanted to take this time to show you how you can be a better entry fragger. Hopefully some of these tips helped you for your time trying to be an entry fragger, whether it be in competitive or in ranked or anything you want to do in Rainbow Six Siege. But with that out of the way, check out my Twitch. I stream every single day on there. And check out this next video. And I hope I'll see you there.